Good morning, everyone. My name is Juliet, and today I'm going to be presenting to you the webinar Time-Saving Appointment Book Tricks. Now, the appointment book is packed with handy little features. These features can definitely make your life a lot easier. So today in this webinar we are going to learn about some of the latest time-saving additions to the appointment book, so this can help you maximise efficiency at your front desk. So duration of this webinar will be approximately 30 minutes. Now your speakers must be turned on to hear this webinar. My microphone is on, however everyone else's is actually automatically muted, so I cannot hear anyone speaking. The questions, if you would like to ask any questions, will be taken throughout the webinar using the chat box, and I will try and keep up with any questions that come through. If not, there will be some time at the end of this webinar to pop in any questions into the chat box that I will run through and answer them at the end. Okay, so our learning outcomes for today. So at the end of this webinar, we will understand how the fastest ways to reschedule the appointments and also group clients in the appointment book. We will learn how to, I suppose, manage different ways to view upcoming appointments for a client. We'll also be able to effectively manage a wait list, so I'll show you that feature also, and understand how to use the appointment book availability icon to determine availability. Now that's a new feature that I'll show you how to turn on. And also we will understand how to reserve time for any walk-ins using the allocation feature. Again, a new feature that I'll also explain to you in the session. Now, what we want to do first of all is we want to take a look at the moving appointments in the week view. So to do this, we would right-click on the appointment itself, or you could right-click on the name at the top of the screen, so your employee name at the top here. Now, in that list, you would find a View Week option. Now, you can also then move appointments around in your View Week mode. To do that, all you need to do is click and drag on the appointment as if you were moving it on the appointment book from one column to the next. Now, as you can see in this week view, you will see that it's just one employee listed, but it's from Tuesday to the Monday. So with your extended time mode in the week view as well, you've got that option. So at the moment we're only viewing 1 week in the week view. However, down the bottom of your screen when you are in this mode to the right hand corner, you will see that there is a weeks option and then there is an icon to pull up a list. Now you can actually view 1, 2 or 3 weeks. You'll also notice to the right of that there is an expand your employee options by selecting employee, and then that way you can actually view additional employee members in this view week. So you could potentially view, let's say, Angel and also Anna, okay, at the same time. So using the select tool to reschedule. Now I'm going to show you this option first and then we're going to do a little demo at the end of it. So with the scheduling tool called Select, what you need to do is you'll need to right-click on the appointment and then select the Select option in the appointment list. Okay, so see that little option there. Now, if a client has multiple appointments, you will actually receive this message towards the left of my screen. So it will ask you if you would like to move all appointments booked on the 5th of the 3rd for Angel together. Now you can either choose yes or no. Okay. Now using the select tool to reschedule, we'll actually place a copy of your appointments in a folder at the bottom of your screen, which is sitting next to the funnel or the left-hand side week view. So to click on the folder on the bottom left of your appointment book and you will see all of the appointments that you have now just scheduled or selected. Okay, to now actually reschedule the appointments that you've selected, you'll need to navigate to the date the client wishes to reschedule. You then need to select the folder on the bottom of your left-hand screen and click on the grey boxes next to each of the appointments you would like to move. So any of those grey boxes there. You then need to select and hold a grey box and drag the appointment to the desired employee and time. Once that is in that area, you can then release it. Now, once you have done that, you will receive a message confirming that you are now moving that appointment. Okay, so it will seem something similar. Move the selected appointments to 12:30 on the 7th of June with Angel. You would select yes or no at that point. When you're moving multiple appointments, so if you have chosen to move multiple blocks, they will appear stacked on the appointment book. So like this in the screenshot above, they are the beige colour because they're stacked up. Now all you need to do is just drag them around into their correct position. Okay, so now we're going to go through a little demo on how you would view the week, also how you would then move an appointment in the week view, and also how we would now use that selecting option. So we're going to right-click on Wendy's appointment and we're going to select View Week. Now, because Wendy was booked in with Anna, we're now seeing Anna's week view from Wednesday to Thursday. Okay, so you can then move the appointment book around by using your toggles at the bottom of the screen or selecting, as per normal, the calendar at the top left-hand corner. You can then also change the week view at the bottom to 1 to 3 weeks, and also then change the employee that is booking in or that you would like to view the week for, just by selecting the employee name from that screen once you've selected the employee icon. Now I'm going to move Wendy to Friday, so I'm just picking her up and dragging and dropping her. Okay, now we're going to look at selecting Harriet to move her and also Melinda. So I'm right-clicking and selecting Select. Now navigating to the date that I want to move those appointments or reschedule Harriet to. Open up my folder at the bottom of the screen. Select and hold the grey box next to Harriet's name and drag it out into the appointment book where I would like to place Harriet's appointment. Okay, so that's how we would view the week and move an appointment, and also how we would select an appointment to view, to move. Okay, next off we're going to talk about grouping appointments. Now this is a great feature if you've got some bridal parties coming along that you need to know who is all together and who isn't. Also if it's just maybe a simple partner or mother and daughter situation where they're coming in together, so you just want to group them so you know potentially that they need to be seated next to each other, or they need to then I suppose pay at the end of the session together as one. So to group an appointment up, you need to right-click on the first appointment that you wish to add to a group and select the Add to Group option. You then select Add to New Group if you haven't already created this, and then you would type in the group's name. As you can see in my example, it's Maura's Party. Once you've selected Done, that would now add that group together. Notice on Ray Maura's appointments on Angel's column, in my screenshot there, she has now got a black circle symbols at the bottom right-hand corner of her appointments. So that is indicating that Ray Maura is part of a group. Now to add anyone else to her group, you do similar steps. You would right-click on the appointment, select Add to Group. Now instead of selecting Add to a New Group, you would add Ella to the Maura Party group. So your appointments will now appear with a double circle at the bottom right of the appointment. As we can see in the screenshot to the right, each appointment group will have its own colour. So if you do create several groups on the same day, it will have a different colour for each group. A little hot tip as well, you can use your appointment book filter to filter for appointment groups on the day. Okay, so I'm just going to take you through a quick demo of doing this. Now we're going to group together Peter Clark and Rachel Clark, so I'm going to select Peter first, Add to Group, and name my group Clark. I'm then going to right click on Rachel Clark's appointment, and then I can add her to the same group as Peter Clark, so to the Clark group. Notice how they've got a green icon. I'm then going to add a bridal party in. I'm adding in Sarah, and then I'm adding in Amy. So it's very hard to tell on this screenshot. However, the icons for the Clark group are like a greenish icon, whereas for Sarah, or the bridal party, we have Sarah, Jane and Amy. They're like a purpley blue colour. The more groups you add, the more colours would appear. Excellent. So now moving on to your wait list. So many of you have seen this before, some may not have. So this is how we can actually save the appointments or save a client's request without using a pencil and paper, or an extra column in your appointment book. We can actually manage clients that would want to come in that obviously are not able to be fitted at the time onto a wait list, so it will prompt. So to do this and to use this feature, you need to click the appointment assistant, which is the green icon, green plus icon at the bottom right of your appointment screen. This will start the waitlist search. To actually manage your waitlist, you will need to enter in certain details. One being you need to enter in the client's name. You then need to add in a date range or a date that the client would like to book in for. And you can also add in any days and times available that they want to come in. So like a start and finish time. You would then add the services that they would like to book in for, which would list them there. And you then can choose optionally if they would like or prefer a particular employee or stylist. The resource is also optional, so if you do have the resources feature in your license, then you can add a resource to this service. Once you've done that, you would then select the waitlist icon at the bottom of the screen, and that would add this client to the waitlist. So when a waitlist time slot becomes available, so when someone has actually removed themselves or a client has cancelled or not shown up and you remove that appointment block from the appointment screen, if there is a booking request available for that time, you'll notice that there is a waitlist availabilities prompt that will appear at the top of my screen. So that will actually appear at the bottom of your appointment book screen where we see the waitlist menu showing, but it will be your prompt first to indicate that there are booking requests waiting on the time slot that has just been released. Now to actually view and book and maybe schedule those waiting appointments, you need to select on the hourglass at the bottom of the appointment book to the left and select all bookable requests. When you do select that, your new screen will appear with your waitlist clients, and it will actually tell you in the status column if anyone is now bookable. As we can see, Angel here is now ready to book or is bookable because there is a spot opened up. To then schedule Angel in, you then hit the schedule button at the bottom of the screen. When you do select the schedule button, it will still give you a list of starting times. If you look towards the bottom left of my screenshot there. Now the starting times could be, from anywhere from 3 o'clock or whichever times that you've selected the start time, if there are availabilities there. So you do need to select on a starting time in your list, and then you would click on the book button, and that would schedule the appointment into the appointment book. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you a demo on actually using the waitlist. So we're going to select our green waitlist option at the bottom, or appointment assistant as we call it, the green plus symbol. I'm now going to select on the client's icon, and I'm going to search for Amy because she's called up and wants to book in. She wanted to come in today. So I'm going to select underneath the to column where it says Tuesday the 9th of Feb, I'm going to select today's date. That has now left Wednesday ticked as me wanting to come in for that day or Amy wanting to come in for that day. Now Amy's also only available to come in around 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So I'm selecting the start and finish times as 11 and 4. I'm now going to choose her services. She wants to come in for a ladies style cut, so I'm going to select that from my services list. And she'd also prefer Anna as the employee or the stylist. So I'm going to select Anna from the employee list there. Okay. Now, just to make sure that there aren't any appointments available, I'm still going to hit the search button, and it will definitely tell me if there are appointments or not. At this point there isn't, so I'm going to select yes. I'd like to add them to the wait list. Okay. Now that I've added Amy to the wait list, I can select the hourglass and look at the requests for today. And as you can see, in the status column, currently Amy is still waiting to be booked. So Danielle has just called up. I'm going to remove Danielle from the appointment book because she can't make it. Notice my prompt down the left-hand corner of the screen. It says that there are booking requests waiting for this time that has just been released. So I'll select on the hourglass again, select all bookable requests, and we can now see that Amy's status is bookable. So I will select Amy and then select our schedule button. As we can see, the starting times that are available in the list on the left-hand side is only 11:30, so we'll go with that option by selecting it. And then I'll select book. Still need to select my tag as well, so whether Amy is a new client, requested stylist, anything of those options. Now we have Amy booked in for that scheduled time slot of 11:30. So if you're not too sure if Amy wanted to come in, you could also call her before you schedule her, if that's probably a preference as well. Excellent. So I'm now just going to have a look at this client's schedule. So many ways that we can actually check on the client's schedule for their upcoming appointments. So the first option you have is if you were to look at your client screen. So if you select on the client icon underneath the main tab. When you search for the client, if you've got your dashboard displaying, you'll be able to select your client from the client list. And when you do that, the future appointments will display in the dashboard, as we can see here. The other option is from the client list. When you have found your client, you could right-click on your client in the list and choose schedule. So that's this list on the right-hand side here. So the schedule is up the top, the third one down, but you can actually print the client's schedule here if you need to. Now the other option of viewing the client's schedule is if they are booked in the appointment book and you know where their appointment is. You can double left click on the client's appointment and it will view their schedule there. Okay, so that's any upcoming appointments listed in the screen. Okay, so now we're going to look at an appointment book availability icon. So this is a new feature. So again, you may or may not have this on your version. If you don't, you may need to upgrade. So basically what we've created is a visual tool to help you easily identify the booking availability. The indicators change colour to reflect how booked an appointment or an employee or a particular time slot on the appointment book is for the day. So this is just our legend to the right. So if it's showing all green, the bar, it's high availability. Orange is moderate availability, a red bar is limited, and then a white bar or column is no availability left. Now I'm just going to explain and show you how you would actually configure and turn on the show availability icon and also show you display of this. So what you need to do is you need to select on the configuration and then general, and then appointment book and tick on the show availability. Notice now how on my time and date column, I have some icons there, and this is just the color legend here to explain again that there is green high availability, orange is moderate, red is limited, and the white bar or column is no availability. So you'll also notice that the indicators are sitting on the top of the employee columns as well. So we can see that Anna, she does have moderate availability for the day, left over. James has got very limited. Lucy, she's got high availability. Chris, moderate, and Katie is a lot as well. Okay, so another new little feature is the time allocation feature. So you can reserve a percentage of time in your appointment book for walk-ins only. So reserve a percentage of your time by selecting and setting this up in your configuration area, and you can set your percentage in this screen. Now this smart tool will notify you if you attempt to select a time slot that will exceed your allocated threshold, and it will also shade over the area in the appointment book once a capacity has been reached. Okay, so first of all, I'll give you a quick demo on how you would configure this and what it would look like and prompt you. Okay, so again, going into setup and configuration, selecting on general and selecting the appointment book. You'll notice there's a new tab up the top called time allocation, and there you can write in your default time reserved for walk-ins or percentage. Notice how there's some black spots on the appointment book. That's the time that is limited for the walk-ins, and it means that the time allocation there for that column has been reached at that time. Now you can restrict the access, etc. So if you go into your security settings, into your access tab, underneath the appointment book section, you'll notice that there is can exceed reserved time limit. So that is a security setting that can be turned on and off for your employees or yourselves, etc., who can exceed that reserved time limit and who can't override it. Okay, so just a summary of what we've learned today. The fastest ways to reschedule and group clients in the appointment book, we've learned that. Different ways that we can view upcoming appointments for a client, so our schedule, whether it be the client dashboard, whether it be right-clicking on the client name, or we double-click on the appointment. How can we effectively manage the wait list? Okay, so now we should know and be familiar with how to use that wait list so that when an appointment or time slot does free up, any clients that have called to book in, it will prompt you to book those in. How to use the appointment availability icons to determine availability. So we now know how to turn that option on and how the indicators, what the indicators will show. We also have looked at how to reserve time for walk-ins using the allocation feature. Again, how we can turn that feature on with the percentage that we can set, where we set that, and then how it would block it out in the appointment book. Okay, so I'm just going to open up some question and answer time. So if anyone has any questions, just pop it into the chat box for me. So while I'm just waiting, pausing, we've got some, just wanting to point out again the education videos that we have uploaded onto YouTube. So we have finding your way around the appointment book. You've got how do we resize and move appointments, using the availability icons, setting up a time allocation, using the appointment assistant, and using the wait list. We have also got up there how to use tasks, recurrent appointment, changing an appointment status, rebooking a client, and adding appointment notes and employee messages. There is also a video on deleting appointments, the importance of that, whether it's no-show or client cancellation, and also grouping clients, which we went through today. So they're all listed on our, or all of those education videos are available on our Shortcuts channel, YouTube channel, which you can find by going to youtube.com/shortcutssoftwareoz. Okay, so I'll just leave that up there for anyone to record that down. So we do have some more webinars coming up, so if you want some more, the next one that's going to be held will be completing a successful stock take with shortcuts. So with the end of financial year coming up, it's time to think about planning the stock take, doing a big stock count. So we'll help you get through that process so that we can show you how to make it as effective and speedy as possible by using shortcuts. So you can register at our shortcuts.net/webinars, or you can watch more webinars on our webinar library. So if you just go to our website, shortcuts.com.au, just search for webinars, you'll be able to find the webinar library if you haven't saved this on your favourites previously. Okay, so should you need to contact us, you can always call support on 1300 66 7374. Otherwise, if you would like to email or prefer to email because you're not able to call, you can also contact support at shortcuts.com.au. Also, our Facebook page is facebook.com/shortcutsaustralia, and then our website is shortcuts.com.au, putting the www in front of that. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending the webinar today. I hope you found this useful information and also the little tips and tricks that we've shown today. If there are any further questions, I'm going to stay on the line if you want to pop anything through the chat box. Otherwise, you can always contact support and they can assist you. Now, this webinar will be going up onto YouTube so that you can also watch that at any time you need to. I hope you all have a very lovely day. Thank you.